YouTube, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to make the best starter squad on FC26. If you don't build your team correctly on Ultimate Team, you can end up losing a ridiculous amount of coins on your team. But on the other hand, if you make the right moves, you buy the right players, you could end up doubling your coins on your team or more, and you're actually using a very good squad. So to help you guys out with your starter squad on FC26, in this video, we're going to be looking at what players you should be getting for your team. And we are also going to be looking at what players to avoid buying for your team. To start things off, let's look at how the market moved this year on FC25 and how we might see similar market movements this year with FC26. Now, the first part of the market we need to understand is the web app. The FC26 web app gets released on the 17th of September. The actual game is not out at that time. People will only have access to the web app where they can log in, choose their starter nation, starter badges, open some welcome backpacks, and do some SBCs. If you want to know how to start out on the FC26 web app, check out my last video. I go over everything you can do, all the best methods, how you can make coins, and if done correctly, you can be leaving the web app with well over 100,000 coins before you even touch the game. Now, when the web app is out, there's not a lot of coins on the market and no one can play the game. So because of that, everything is ridiculously cheap. You can see right here, watching my video from last year, Lamine Yamal's Team of the Week card, while the web app was out, was down at 48,000 coins. Now here you can see the exact moment early access begins. For those of you that don't know, there's usually an early access Ultimate Edition glitch where people on Xbox can change their location to New Zealand. So they're basically jumping forward in time, and as soon as it's midnight in New Zealand, they all get access to FC26. And you can see that right here with FC25. Once everyone on Xbox could get on the game with early access, we see Lamine Yamal go from 48,000 coins, and then a few hours later, he's over 100,000 coins. This is why the web app is so important. If you are quick on the web app, you follow my tips, maybe you join the live stream or watch the video I posted, if you get a good amount of coins and you spend them properly, you can more than double your coins and get a really good start to your ultimate team. Now, this rise is seen across the entire market. Another player right here is Mickey Van de Ven. You can see right here, Mickey Van de Ven on the web app was down at 15,000 coins. Once early access began, people got on the game. You can see he goes from 15,000 coins to almost 50,000 coins. There's another example right here, Luis Diaz. He was down at 17,000 coins. People get on the game, start buying players for their team. He went up to 55,000 coins. So it's pretty simple. If you get coins on the web app, make sure you spend them on cards that are good, on cards that people are going to be using, especially in their starter teams. I would say targeting on the web app players in that 10 to maybe 30,000 coin range might be your best bet. There were some daily fluctuations in the market, but in general, if you were buying players for your team, you can see from my videos and my thumbnails right here, you wanted to sell your team before full release actually came out. You can see right here, I had a video, is the FC25 market about to crash? This is a couple days before full release. And then a couple days later, the FC25 market is crashing. Looking at last year's market, what we saw with early access was before the first rival rewards, a lot of people were panicking and we saw a lot of cards go down in price. You can see Glizzy right here went from basically 120K down to below 100,000 coins, but then full release comes out, he rebounds a little bit, and then a week or two later, crash. He's down at 30,000 coins at the end of October. Same situation here with Van Dijk. We see him up at almost 400,000 coins. He gets panic sold going into the first rival rewards before full release. On the 27th is full release. He rebounds a little bit, but then again, with time, end of October, just crashing in price. Looking at a little bit of the lower budget route, someone here like Martinelli, you can see going into the first rival rewards, gets panic sold, full release though, down in price, maybe a slight rebound, but then just down and down and down. The lower budget cards crash very fast. Within 1 to 2 weeks, the dude went from being almost 20,000 coins to 2,000 coins. If you build a team on FC26 around low budget players like this Martinelli and you hold them for a week or two, your team could go from costing 200,000 coins to a couple weeks later costing 20,000-30,000 coins max. So to basically sum up where we're at right now, the web app is really important. Whatever coins you get on the web app, spend it on some good players that when people get on the game, they spend their FC points and then they spend their coins on players for their squad. Everything goes up in price. So web app, get players early. After that, you probably want to be a little careful going into the first rival rewards of early access. We've seen a lot of panic going into that. So if you want to avoid losing some coins, you might want to sell. So just to quickly go over some do's and don'ts. You do on the web app want to buy good players for your team that people are going to want to use when they can play the game. You don't want to buy fodder type cards that are really kind of useless. Fodder at the start of the game, not really that important. You do want to be careful holding some of these lower budget, lower meta type cards because these are the cards that crash fast. They will lose their value the fastest. Now, I have a few extremely helpful tips for you guys when it comes to building your team on FC26. Throughout the year, there are going to be certain players you can buy that are going to hold their value very well with time, if not go up a ridiculous amount. Now, tip number 1 is going to be out of pack cards. Meta cards out of packs can go up a ridiculous amount. If we look at team of the week 1, we have Rodman. This is FC25. When she was in packs, she was around 150,000 coins. If we fast forward a month later, she goes from being 150,000 coins to over 400,000 coins. You might think, oh, that's just Trinity Rodman. No, there are multiple options here in team of the week 1. Let's look at Theo Hernandez. This dude went from being 600,000 coins while he was in packs, and then a month later, the dude more than doubles. He's up at 1.4 million coins, almost 1.5 million coins. Out of pack cards are a really easy way to get players for your team without losing coins on them. Gold cards are always in packs. They're always going to get supplied. So they are really just one promo pack away from crashing down in price. But someone like Team of the Week Adeyemi in Team of the Week 1, once this dude is out of packs, he's not going to get packed anymore. You can see Adeyemi was 87,000 coins. A week or two later, the dude's up at almost 150,000 coins. Now, advice like this isn't just with Team of the Week. We also have promo cards, especially live promo cards. One of the first promos of the year that we always get is Road to the Knockout. These cards are live and they are the easiest coins you can ever make. At the start of the year, if you want to buy a good player for your team that is also live, that's going to get better with upgrades and it's going to make you a bunch of coins, this promo is a gold mine. Let's look at DeMarco right here, for example. If we check this card out, the dude, while he was in packs, comes into packs on Friday. If we look midweek around rival rewards, he's down at 85K. If I remember correctly, after rivals last year, he was actually down at like 76,000 coins. But fast forward a month or so later, he goes from being 85K all the way up to 215,000 coins. If you can just build your team around players that are going to hold value or players that are going to go up in value with time, it will save you so many coins throughout the year. Road to the Knockout is honestly one of the easiest promos to make coins. Now, another area you can make coins on buying players for your team is just simple out of pack investments. The player we're going to look at right here is Van Dijk. A really easy way to maybe test out a player for your team and make coins is buying them if it looks like they're going to get a Team of the Week card. Right here, Van Dijk getting a Team of the Week. He got a Team of the Week card on December 4th. What we did on FC25 this year was said, oh, hey, he's probably going to get a Team of the Week this week. So if we go look around December 4th, you can see right here is December 4th. He's up at 160, ends up going over 170,000 coins. But before he got that Team of the Week, we knew it was likely he'd get a card, and we ended up picking him up for around 145,000 coins. Now, obviously, it's not a crazy rise from 145k to, let's say, 175k, but we were able to buy a very good center back in Van Dijk. We were able to use him for a week, and then we were able to sell him and make coins on that card. So we bought a really good player for our team. We were able to use him for a weekend and then sell him for profit. One more thing I want to show you, which might be the craziest one. Icons. Same thing kind of goes for heroes, but they didn't move as well. But guys, if you can transition your coins away from those gold cards early on and move those coins into some icons, they went crazy on FC25. So full release of the game was on the 27th. We have Zola right here, full release around 550,000 coins. You saw in those other player graphs with the gold cards, they didn't hold their value. With time, you saw those gold cards just go down and down and down. Someone like Kyle Walker, I made a post about it in my VIP Discord. The dude was around 60,000 coins at full release. A month later, he was around 30,000 coins. Now, in that same time frame, if we look at someone like Zola's icon, 536,000 coins, and then we look a month later, he's over 1 million coins. He ends up peaking at over 1.1 mil. And you can see this kind of a rise across the board on icons. I can look up literally any icon. If you can transition into icons early on FC26, I would expect some really solid profit. Right here, Petite, 350,000 coins at full release, and then we fast forward a month, the dude's up at 760,000 coins. Just to show the graph as well, I wanted to pull up FC24 Zola right here. The dude was 230,000 coins, 260, and then with time, in a month, he goes from that price to almost 600,000 coins. Again, icons going crazy. Now, one last tip I have for you guys is going to be using untradeable players from objectives or from untradeable packs you get from rewards or even from SBCs. When you use untradeable cards, guess what? You can't sell them, you can't lose coins on them. And that is it for my tips on how to build the best starter squad on FC26. Now, obviously, FC26 is a brand new game. It's a brand new year. We don't know what EA is going to be releasing for content, for promos, for SBCs, any of that. You can't always avoid losing coins on your team. Maybe EA release a ridiculously good left back evolution and then every single left back on the game crashes. You can't really predict stuff like that and you can't avoid it. We saw it with center mids on FC25. Early on, EA released a center mid Turam SBC and every single center mid on the game crashed. Stuff like that, you can't predict. You just gotta suck it up, take it. It is what it is. And it really sucks when you invest in center mids and then something like that happens. But it is what it is. You just got to move on. Now, I will say EA is fairly repetitive with how their games run. So I would guess or assume that the market movements are going to be fairly similar from the past couple years. And if that is the case, hopefully we can follow those trends, avoid losing coins on our team, but also make a ton of coins on our teams if we buy the correct players. Now, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I will be live every single day of FC26. So if you ever have any questions about your team, buying players, selling players, just join the live stream, ask away. I will try my best to help you guys out. And that is that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.